No.
I think I did, but I didn't watch it because I didn't need to.
Was it with your message or?
It was.
Yeah, it was with the email that with the next. It was a week ago. It was just the day after or the evening or something like that. Yeah, if you have a look maybe in your spam, sometimes my emails get spammed.
Oh,
for some
okay.
reason.
Yeah, no, I don't think
I'm a spam magnet.
Like no.
Okay. No
was it something we had to do for today or?
No, it was just to rewatch the recording of our first session. Good morning, Florence.
Good morning, sorry. Made it.
That's okay. No problem. You made it. It's only 3 minutes past. It's
Hi,
all
everyone.
fine.
Hi, Florence.
Hi.
So yeah, the objective for today, as always, is everybody gets their chance to ask questions about the content of module 2, and it's we can expand it to any tool. It doesn't have to be the tools from module 2. I just made a selection, but if you have a tool that you like to use, we talk about there's something you would like to use but you haven't used yet, we can take a look at it together, and yeah, by the end hopefully you'll have a new tool in sight that you would like to use and invest some time into. So yeah, why don't we start with Claire, since you stayed up so late? I think you deserve to go first.
No, I found it very useful, the websites you provided. I even had a play on the Google, can't remember what it's called now, to visits or whatever it's called. That was good fun.
Oh, Google Tour Creator, you had to play with them.
I put my house where I grew up in and stuff.
Oh, nice.
That was really interesting because my students love traveling, and we dream of doing at that moment. So I'm planning on doing that with my students. I had a few issues using Zoom over the past 2 weeks, just because I'm new to it, I guess. I discovered that if I'm wearing my earphones and I want to play audio, they can't hear anything. I take my earphones out, they can hear an audio clip.
What kind of earphones do you have? Like
Samsung.
Cable ones, or like wireless ones?
Yeah, cable.
That you have your earphones in. So when you have your earphones in, you can hear the audio through the earphones in your ears. Yeah.
And they couldn't hear anything. Unplugged the earphones, it was fine. And
if you had I know why.
Is it a setting?
No, yeah. When you unplug your earphones, what's happening is the sound from the computer is coming out of the speakers, and the microphone is right next to the speakers.
Okay.
So it tries to cancel out the sound, but it doesn't manage it. So what they're hearing is the sound from the audio going back into the microphone, which is one way to share audio. If anybody is ever using a tool that's not Zoom, where you can't share the audio from your computer, then that's one solution, is just to take out your earphones and just to play the audio through the speakers. But the quality is bad because the Zoom's job is to try to cancel any sound from the computer so that you don't hear your own voice. There's no loop. So it'll try to cancel the music that's coming, or the audio that's coming out of the computer. What you're missing there, I think, is when you have your earphones in and you're going to share your screen, or you want to play. Well, are we talking about that you're showing them something and playing the audio, or are you just playing audio?
InLingua House document with an audio clip to.
Okay, but you're sharing your screen, or you're not sharing. You just want to play audio. Yeah. Okay, because there's the two choices: either we share our screen and we make sure we click the little share sound button,
which I think I did.
Okay, if you did that, they should be able to hear it. There's no reason that they wouldn't.
That's why I was a bit confused, because I was like, I'm pretty certain I've done that. So
okay, we would double check. And then the other way is if you don't need to share your screen, but you just want to do a listening activity with them, you can also go to the advanced tab. There's a button there, computer sound only, and so that'll just share the sound. So if I select that, you won't see my screen anymore. But if I play a YouTube video, it'll be something musical probably.
Lucas et Eric investissent tous les deux dans les actions.
Lucas utilise
8 € pour investir dans des actions.
Yeah, Lucas, oh God.
Yeah, we can hear that fine. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah. And the first time I used Zoom with a student, I gave him control, and he couldn't see the floating bar, the floating control bar.
Yep, that would be,
Came out
that's normal, yeah.
eventually, but he was like, I can't see it. I was like, why can't you see it? And eventually he got it, but I don't know how or why it wasn't there.
Yeah, I'll show you that. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm sharing my screen, and I've turned on, before sharing, I've gone into my Zoom options, which are in here. When you're in your Zoom software like this, you've got your profile photo at the top, and you can go into settings. Now, the reason you're seeing all of these things that I'm showing you, the settings, the Zoom window, it's not normal that you see that. In fact, it's because I've switched on this bit here, which is show Zoom windows during screen share. And I think in French it says afficher les fenêtres de Zoom pendant le partage d'écran or something like that. If you switch that on and then share, then they'll see the Zoom window, they'll see your Zoom window where they see all the pictures, they'll see your bar, which is this. All these things are normally invisible, but you can see them now. I'll show you another example where I'm going to go back into my settings. You can't see it anymore. I'm going to turn it off, that thing I just talked about. So not show Zoom windows during screen share. If I share my screen again, now you can't see my bar anymore, right?
Okay.
You can only see the YouTube video of the NPR music session, right? And that's because I've turned off that. I can see the Zoom windows, I can see my bar. So there's things that you can see on your screen. You just have to be conscious that anything that's by Zoom will not be visible. So I can see, for example, your videos are here at the right side and now they're at the top. I'm moving them around. But you can't see what I see. I see your videos superimposed on my screen, and you can't see that because I've turned off this setting. Yeah, so that would be why. And so if I give you remote control, for example, Claire, I'll give you remote control. You're going to be able to go and play that video, but you won't be able to interact with any of my Zoom elements. You'll only be able to interact with the video.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you show,
So,
sorry, Richard, can you show again what that setting is? Because it's helpful when you explain how Zoom works for other people.
No problem. No problemo. Get back, I have to turn it on again so that I can show you, because if not, I won't be able to show you. There. Okay, so I've turned it on, and I'll show you where it is. So now you can see the Zoom window with all the bits and pieces. And preferences. So sorry, you go into your Zoom software, and then the top right, this is, I show it this way because it's the universal way. There's a way to do it on Apple, but it's not the same on Windows. So the universal way is get into your Zoom software that everybody has, go to your picture and go to settings.
Okay.
And then there's a screen sharing tab. And in there is show Zoom windows during screen share, on or off. And in French it's afficher les fenêtres de Zoom, if I remember correctly from the French interface. And that will basically share your screen, everything, including the Zoom things, anything that's from Zoom. It's disorientating. It's not recommended because one problem I often have with that is when I'm trying to, say I have a learner for the first time and I'm trying to help her annotate, and I would say, can you click on the annotate button? They go and try to click on my annotate button, but it's not on their screen. So they're clicking, saying, I'm clicking and nothing's happening. I'm saying, yes, because you're clicking on my screen and you're not controlling. Or I have the annotation bar up and I'm saying, you know, click on draw. They click on my draw. And they actually, in the end, if you go to annotate at the top, if you go to view options at the top and annotate, you'll see that there's your annotate bar and there's my annotate bar on the screen. So it's quite disorientating. And that's why I don't usually recommend that people do that. Where it is really useful is when your learner says, I can't connect to the microphone, and like you have to phone them to try to troubleshoot because their microphone's just not working. And you're saying, just, you know, click on the thing at the bottom left, and they're like, oh, I don't see, I don't know what it is. I'm so lost. Then you can share the Zoom window, get them to share maybe their screen, tell them how to, you know, it's a bit tricky. You have to tell them how to get to that option. But if you guide them and say, go to settings, click on screen share, click on this, and now share your screen, and then they can show you. If you can manage to do that, it's like ultimate debugging, because they could show you the whole thing. They could show you what microphones they have, and you could say, you see, it says something about AirPods, click on the microphone instead, and that might fix it. You know, you can actually guide them through the process, or click on audio settings, click on test, what do you hear? You know, if you can see everything that they can see, then you can really help them to fix their computer. So that's one other advantage.
One last thing. I'm just used to WebEx, so this was a bit. Every time I wanted, so I had my documents open on my computer ready to use, and every time I think I was eventually doing it correctly. Rather than just switching to the document, I'd have to go into Share, then find the document, then they'll see it. Is that correct? Because I was thinking, well, why can't you see it? I've just gone to the document, but I hadn't done it via Share.
Yeah, but that's exactly one of the points that's annoying about Zoom. That's actually really good about WebEx is that in WebEx you can share multiple documents and switch between them instantly. Yeah, which is very good. And also it's when you share a document in WebEx, you're not sharing your screen, you're not sharing a video, it's just the document. So it's not taking up a lot of data, just in case you're on your phone or something instead of on a Wi-Fi system. But yeah, in Zoom you have to show a video of the document that you're sharing, so it takes up more data. Even in WebEx you can annotate on the document. When you're sharing a document, you can actually leave an annotation on the document, move on and to the next page, and the annotation stays. Whereas with Zoom, when you annotate, it's always superimposed, so you can't move the document without taking a photo.
Otherwise it moves, and then I email it to the student.
Exactly. Yeah, so it is a disadvantage. Yeah,
I went to WebEx yesterday and I felt so relieved because I love WebEx, and I think I'm going to try and use WebEx more because it depends on what activity, but if it's just basic documents, I'm using WebEx and no audio.
Yeah. Exactly. I think if you're sharing a lot of PDFs and audio, then WebEx is really got that advantage over Zoom. So yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Okay.
Yep. But we faire avec, as they say in French.
Yes.
So is that okay for you, Claire?
Yeah, that's cool. And otherwise, the module 2 was good and useful about low-level learners.
Okay. Are there any particular tools that you already use on a regular basis, not PDFs, but like, a quiz or some sort of tool?
No, but the other day I had 2 retirees. One had a hearing aid, so it's the last time we're doing Visio because they're coming in after this lesson, in fact, because it wasn't great. But I actually said, okay, you're at home. I want to see your living room. So they got up last Friday, walked around, and I could see their house, which was nice. And so it corresponded to what you were saying in your lesson. But I get them to move, not me. So
okay, that's fine.
I don't want them seeing my house.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, but even the outside, I can see trees behind you there, Claire. Looks like.
Yeah, but that's not my house. That's my work. I've got a very nice room where I work in. So.
Okay, nice. Yeah, but still, no, but that's good. Yeah, it's good to we're really accepting the state of things when we're not just on our computer, kind of as an emergency thing, hiding away, but as behind a screen. But we're actually on our computer in a place that we could also share with the learners, that they wouldn't be able to see my garage normally and all my old baby equipment and stuff like that. You don't normally see that when I'm working with people, so it's nice to kind of have that interesting look into the teacher's world and into the learner's world. So yeah, it's nothing wrong with using that. And you take it, some people, we talked about how in a lot of groups how it's difficult because you're on Visio maybe 6 hours a day and your head is melted by the end of it, because it's a lot of time just looking into a screen, perfectly still, looking at people. And so we started talking about, but I mean, if you take 5 minutes every lesson, say there's like a walk around time where you say, okay, let's take a walk around. What are you going to show me today? And you can see something, interesting in that person's house, show them the contents of your fridge one day, and then show them your bathroom the next day and what brand of toothpaste you use, or I don't know, just little things like that would mean you have to get up and walk around. The learner has to get up and walk around. You're not just looking at the camera. You're actually, I set it's good if you have wireless headphones or if you're using the computer microphone, because then you can really move around and show them things, as opposed to being stuck with a cable to the device. So, but yeah, it's a one way that you can keep yourself moving, not be sitting stationary for 6 hours every day, and not just be looking directly into a screen the entire day long, but actually get moving around. If every hour you do 5 minutes like that, then it helps to break up the computer time as well. So yep, very good. So I'm glad you were doing that. Una, any questions?
Right, so my first question is, that means I can't be in my pajamas if I'm walking around with them.
Can't you be? I mean, we're in exceptional times.
Okay,
who's gonna comment on that?
No, but yeah, joking apart, I mean, I think the last time we had our coaching session, we weren't actually in lockdown. So
Yes,
I did think
right.
to myself, would I be able to put anything into practice? And my answer was yes, because I've had a lot of practice this week.
Good.
And so it's been an advantage for me in a way, because I've been able to do lots of little things that I'd never been able to do before, like sharing the sound in the computer, recording the chat and that sort of thing.
Good.
So I'm really happy about that. I'm a bit I would say submerged by all the different tools that you've shown us, but I just need to take my time to dig around, do a bit of shopping. So that's fine. There's one thing I did try, and that was the is it Kaizena, the when you record the sound?
Oh, you went right for the most difficult one. Okay.
Well, okay, right. That's why I had a problem.
No, it's the best one, but the most difficult one. Yeah,
right.
That's great.
Okay, so I downloaded it, and now I'm getting loads of messages from Kaizena saying, "Oh, glad you're with us sooner," and everything.
Sure.
And we see you're not using it, and that's basically because I tried using it on your link, and nothing happened. I tried recording my voice. And so I gave up, basically.
Okay. Well, that's something we can look at. If you wouldn't mind sharing your screen and opening that document, we can have a look and see why that's happening.
So I'll have to, well, I haven't got anything open.
Would you be able to find the link, do you think?
Yes. Can you give me a couple of minutes?
Of course, we'll move on to Nick and we'll come back, but that's good. Yeah, but I think that there's a thing to talk about. Sorry, Nick, just before, which is that comment about being submerged with tools. It's absolutely right. One of the most difficult things about this period is whether you have used tools or not before. You find things like Google Tour Creator, like Claire found interesting. It takes time to get used to a tool like this, and if you're sort of looking at 5 or 6 different tools, you're just never going to find the time to get good at 5 or 6 different tools. And that was something I think I mentioned in the training videos, is if you can find one tool that you really like and you really hook into, and you can spend an evening getting used to that tool, 2 or 3 hours sitting on that tool and basically clicking all the buttons. If you just sit and click all the buttons, don't worry about breaking it. Just see, what does this do? What does this do? And just try to see if there's anything in there that can be used for language teaching. It's kind of like just trying to make a patchwork based on other people's tools. If you can record your own voice, that's great. So how could I use that for audio activities, for speaking activities, for even listening activities? Google Tour Creator is a good example where if you really dig into it, there is possibility to add audio to that as well. And when you start thinking about, well, how am I going to use this tool, you start considering, well, if there's audio in there, maybe I should present something like where I went on holiday, places where I've lived. You start making your own tours. You have a look at there. So I used to live in Versailles. I used to live near castle. Yeah, it's nice, eh? Cool castle. If you've never been to Versailles and you live near Paris. Yeah, well, there you go. I had to, we couldn't live anywhere further than for, dirty old Paris. Had to live in nice fancy Versailles. But yeah, it was a beautiful place. I really loved living there. I lived there for 8 years. And it was great because I used to work in La Défense. So my train station was just down there. And I had like 2 different train stations. So on the days of the strikes, this train would be down. I would go and use this train instead. And so anyway, you set up these different tour creators, that setting up these different scenes, different things from where you used to live. There's the Galerie des Glaces or whatever they call it, which is pretty impressive in the Versailles Castle. And there's where I live now, Montignac, little Montignac in Dordogne. So yeah, slightly less posh, but still fancy. And you realize that if you keep clicking buttons, you see things like, you can add where it is, the description, you can give credits, nobody cares about that. You can add points of interest. Okay, so that adds a little eye. What happens if I move that around? Okay, well, there's the city hall, so I'll click that. Highlights that. Okay, what do I do if I type in city hall? What does that do? If I type in paragraph, no, if I type in road, and then it means if I click on that, I see city hall, and if I click on that, I see road. And everywhere there seems to be this little bonhomme. There's an image and a bonhomme with a like speech coming out. What does that do? Okay, I can add, click on that, see, drag an audio file, select an audio file, right? I don't have an audio file. So you need to think about how you're going to get an audio file. Okay, well, maybe I'll go to record audio in Google and see what comes up. Oh, look, onlinevoicerecorder.com, sounds good. Click the button to start recording. I will click the button. That's what I like to do. This is the Montignac City Hall. Stop. And okay, I've got a bit of audio there. I can listen to it. Hall. And then save it. And then that saves a little MP3. Ah, well, that's perfect because that's what Google asked for. Here, drag an audio file. Okay, well, then I'll do that. Doop. Oh, there it is. Perfect. This is the Montignac City Hall. And they click on these different things. They see road and there's a description, and then they see city hall. And oh, look, there's a thing to click. And so you can tell your learners to click that while they're at home looking at this map. This is the Montignac City Hall. Note where the city hall is, you know, and like they have to note the prepositions. So they have to look at the map and write me a little text like it's opposite the bridge, on the right, it's just next to the road, it's right next to the river, it's facing the creperie. So, you know, things like that could make it very easy and nice little homework. So as soon as you start clicking, you know, that it would take, say, you know, it took me 2 seconds because I know how to do it, but it might take you 2 hours to get through all that and to figure all that out on how to do all those things. But then you figured it out. So then you can create lots of different things. Then you can create one for the Galerie de Glace and explain lots of different points about the Galerie de Glace, for example, and give this link then to learners for homework, and they go through each of the scenes, and they're, you know, scene 1, question, where is the city hall? Scene 2, question, who made the mirrors in the Galerie de Glace and why does it matter? And so, you know, little things like that where you could, and it sounds like a lot of work, but in the end, this is an activity that if I made this, I would use this probably with every beginner and pre-intermediate group that I have for months. And so anyone I have new, this would just be one of the lessons I pull out. And I know that because I used to make lessons when I worked in Paris. I made lessons out of videos, and there would be just like a selection of 4 or 5 of them that I would just pull out for any class. Doesn't matter who they are. At one point they would see Dragon's Den, Hungry House worksheet on, you know, figures and presentations and whatever. So this could just be, you know, you spend a lot of time putting this together, 2 or 3 hours, and then you use it with every group for like years to come. So, and the same thing over and over again, you just share the link with them and give them the same worksheet or the same Google Doc or whatever it is, and they just fill it out for years to come. So it's why I'm saying to choose one tool. If you make this your tool, then really invest your time into it, give it 2 or 3 hours one evening, and then you'll have something that you can use online that will really impress people for a long time to come. So tour creator, clicking buttons, etc. Una, where are we?
Well, I found the page where I was when I was trying to use Kaizena. So I'll share it with you, but I can't see any Kaizena stuff on it now. But maybe you can throw some light on it.
Hope so.
Right. So this is where I was.
No problem. All right. Oh yeah, I remember you commented on it. Yeah, you put the yes. I remember.
Yeah, I was just. It wasn't necessarily a yes. It wasn't necessarily my opinion. I was just playing around with
problem. It. That's okay. So why I said it's the most difficult one is because it's something that's Kaizena is an additional kind of module to Google Docs, but that doesn't always appear every time you open the document. You have to manually open it every time, which is a bit annoying, but the advantages are outweigh the annoyance, I think. To get it open, you should be able to click at the top left on where it says add-ons.
Add-ons, yeah.
Yeah, and then go to Kaizena and go to Open Kaizena. We'll see what happens. You click on OK where it says you're signed in as Una.
Hang on, I just have to move the. This okay?
Yeah, just to get it out of the way.
Okay,
there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So now if you wanted to answer, for example, exercise 1, part 6, you would highlight something in there, a word or the whole sentence with your mouse. You would, drag and highlight a word or two.
Right.
Perfect. Now, if on the right you see that come up in Kaizena in green, it means that it's kind of detected what you've highlighted. And then if under where it's highlighted, the green box there on the right side where it says how long was I stuck, there's a little microphone at the bottom of that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And if you click on that, it should ask you probably for permission to have your microphone. So this is important. We should say autorize because we needed to give us access to the microphone. And now if you speak.
Okay. So probably for quite a long time, couple of weeks.
Okay. Now you click stop. And then if you click where you see that it says Una there, and it's got your sentence that you clicked on, and then it's got audio. If you click that.
This one here.
Yeah, you'll probably hear it. I don't know if we will. Yeah, I guess you're hearing that.
Okay.
Not us.
So probably for quite a long time.
There you go.
Couple of weeks. Magic.
Magic, yeah. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, but it's it's one of those things like I think it's a great tool because you can put your voice in there, the learners can put their voices in there and do audio practice. And then the other day there was a group from InLingua where somebody was asking a question about they have a learner who's heavily dyslexic, and so a lot of these on-screen activities are very difficult because she can't read the questions very easily and she's not able to write answers to the questions. And I was like, well then Kaizena, you can read the question out loud, and then your learner can come in and comment it on, through audio instead of having to write something. So it's just a nice little solution for a particular problem, a very specific problem. But yeah, in general, it's quite fun, I think, to be able to do that. And honestly, there's loads of different things that they'll try to, I don't know if they'll try to tempt you to do them, but they'll say, don't you want to upgrade to Kaizena Pro because then you can do skills and scores and whatever. Honestly, I think the audio thing is all you'll ever need. So just what you've just done is the maximum manipulation you'd ever need to do with this tool.
Okay, so it's relatively easy. It's just knowing where to go and yeah. Okay.
I would say to invest more time into how to use Google Docs than to invest time in clicking all the buttons of Kaizena. I would rather click all the buttons of Google Docs because there's way more you can do with Google Docs. Inserting images and inserting links and stuff like that. It's more important, I think, than doing the Kaizena stuff. But if you know how to do the audio comments, that's already very good.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Shall I stop
very welcome.
sharing my screen?
Yeah, sure. But I'm glad that you're using that. And like I said, that can just be your tool. You feel submerged because there's so many options, but you have a tool there that could potentially be the thing that makes all of your lessons really fun and really interesting. So, you don't need to have anything else in the short term. That's already enough. You're sharing your screen, you're showing videos, you're doing Google Docs, that's already great. Yeah.
And that's something quite good is some feedback we get quite a lot is the diversity of activities. So that kind of adds on to whatever you're already doing and something new as well. So
yeah.
We've certainly got scope for diversity now.
But it's been interesting talking to so many different people from InLingua, and that there's a majority feeling when we talk about using tools that the teachers feel that they are allowed to use any other tool that they want. They really have that, everybody has been quite unanimous on saying, yeah, well, we're allowed to send a homework activity on whatever kind of support we want, or to do whatever in class on the screen that we want. And so I think there is that, there's that sense of freedom within InLingua that you have the control as well over the content that you deliver in the classroom and where it comes from and how you use it. So yeah, it's been good because everybody's quite open then to trying all these different tools. So it's been a really good experience. So. Any other questions, Una?
No, I think that was it. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Well, Nick.
Yeah, sure. Module 2 I thought was very thought-provoking, lots of suggestions about how to spice up a lesson, I suppose, especially with low levels. I thought, you know, especially on a format online, it's sometimes difficult, and especially when their confidence is quite low. Different videos and tools available for that. Also, when you have a problem with someone who can't move on from a particular tense, I had someone the other week who's just useless with the past simple, and I ended up playing one of the Canadian videos, and it just spelt it out very clearly for him, and was a refreshing change from my voice, I suppose. So I thought that worked quite well. The quiz, what was the quiz thing you suggested? I can't remember. Like the Trivial Pursuit, the 4 options.
It was probably Genially.
Yeah, something like that. I think I was doing that in the first confinement with as a drinking game with my friends. So I might try and convert that into.
It's Kahoot. You're talking about
Kahoot.
Kahoot.
Yeah.
Oh man, Kahoot. Yeah. If you would permit me to run with that Kahoot comment, actually, we could go a little bit deeper into Kahoot.
Sure. Yeah.
I love I love getting into Kahoot.
Alcohol now as well.
I take the alcohol at my lessons. It's fine.
You're at home. Yeah, day drinking at home is perfectly fine. Everybody knows that.
Work.
Yeah. Well, sorry. You need to get back at home, get in your jammies.
I finish at 8 o'clock tonight as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Claire.
That's tough.
Get your violins out.
That's early.
Yeah.
That's early.
Yeah. Oh God. I didn't realize InLingua.
I finished teaching at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I feel pity for you guys. So one thing that Kahoot does all the time, or a lot, is trying to convince you that yes, okay, because remember in the lesson I said to sign up as a school. So you say that you're a school, you don't need to say what type of school you are, you just say school other, and it gives you a free account, and you're able to use that with up to 100 people.
I've actually signed up, but awesome. I haven't used it yet.
Okay, yeah, so you sign up with the free, and then it'll keep popping up with this telling you, are you sure you don't want to go pro, you don't want to go premium? And I mean, I would, if you like Kahoot that much, there might be a point where you're using it every day and you actually do want to go pro, because it gives you lots of other images that you can put in and different question types that are a bit more fun. But honestly, the free version is all that I ever use, and probably all that I will ever use. You don't need to do any of the school stuff. Just get free. And then already creating Kahoots, there's the sort of secret points. If you're clicking on all the buttons in Kahoot, you would find the question bank, which is something that I discovered after I made the videos about Kahoot, I think, where it's kind of a community data bank of questions. So if you have a particular lesson coming up about, I don't know, business, oops, an extra S there, would be good. You'll get sort of, lots of questions from people who've made Kahoots about business stuff, and you see where it's come from. They've made a public Kahoot. Now, obviously it's public, so there might be bad quality stuff, spelling mistakes and whatever, but you can add them and then edit the text. It's like making a copy of somebody else's question. And then you can edit the text. You can change the text or the question text. So that we're it's based on an image with a question, and the answers are something you will tap on your phone, which is good fun. You can, instead of having an image from the image library or from your computer, you can actually add a YouTube link. So here's where clicking and clicking and clicking throws up something that suddenly you think, oh my God, that's actually fantastic for language classes. Because if we get a link, so let's say we take a video. I don't know what that is. Okay, so that's a 26-minute long video. It's way too long for a lesson. I'm gonna make them 26 minutes. But say that here there's a really good part where she presents something about, I don't even know what this is about, but she presents a particular leaf. I don't know why you're doing this in class, but that this is at 4 minutes 21. So you take the video link, copy that from your browser, go back to Kahoot. It says paste YouTube link, so we'll paste YouTube link. And instead of just adding the whole video, we can actually add from 4 minutes 21 where it starts. Click done. And the video will, when we play the video, it will automatically start from this point. And then we can even tell it when to finish. So we know that it's from 4:21 to 4:30, 45 is when she's talking about it. 45. So we've got a good sort of 20 odd second chunk of that video. Want longer videos? Use slides. Upgrade now. So they're just constantly trying to do that. It means that when we when the quiz comes up, when this question comes up in the quiz.
Les plantes, c'est très stimulant. Et quand je me balade, ben aussi, je me dis tiens, là il y a un coin à ortie, il y a un coin à prêle, il y a un coin à scie. C'est riche. Ou bien j'essaye des plantes aussi.
So a little stop. Sorry, yeah, it's a plant quiz. You know, it's what I do. It's my kind of lesson style. Oh, crumbs! So just closed it. Sorry. But that, you know, then you think, right? Well, that means that I could basically split that video up into different 10-second chunks or even 5-second chunks and do gap fills. So I could say, you know, the plant is is very nice or something like that. And so it's a present tense thing, and we can put in the is and the was and the whatever there. And then they have to choose, so they listen and they have to choose the right thing to fill in the space. So you've got a listening activity with the gap fill that's like showing them the little bits of the video that you want, which, if you know, it's a bit fiddly and it takes time, but then you don't have to be playing and pausing and playing and pausing. And if they want to go back, you just go back to the previous question and it plays that part of the video. So you've sort of automated that listening activity process just by adding lots of different questions, 10 seconds of the video each, with different gap fill questions. And so that would be a fantastic listening activity. It could be general listening too. It could be, you know, what is her favorite plant, and they have to listen to actually understand, you know. So it might not be gap fills, you know, specific listening. It might be, was it ortie or something? What did she say? No, ortie, that's a toe. Let's see. I don't know how you how do you spell ortie? Anybody?
No double L, just E-S. I-E-S. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right, there you go. My spelling sucks.
Well, welcome to the French language.
Yeah. Or T 3, 4, 5 different ways it seems to. Anyway, yeah. So that, you know, that it's clicking on it, it's taking it to a new level. Now, stay with me, because if we did that and we had all these different bits and we finished that and validated that, we're going to call it, this Kahoot can't be played. All questions need completing. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, well, I'll just delete that one then. Delete that one. Yes. Already done. Okay, so this is video tests. Okay. Now, so you can do that in class, and that's a great listening activity to do on the screen. Now, imagine you've been doing this in class, and it's been going really well. You're really happy with it. You've invested the time to create it. You've been using it in class. That's great. And then one day you don't have time to do it in class. You get to the end and you say, "Oh, it's a shame. We had this video I wanted to watch, and maybe we'll do it next time." But then you notice that actually when you click play, and you've always been doing teach, because that's the bit where it opens it up and everybody joins with their phones and everybody plays together. But there's also assign, and so why not try clicking this and see what happens? Assign a challenge. So we could say, okay, my next lesson is next Thursday with this group. So I'll say that the deadline is next Thursday at 10 a.m. That's when the lesson is. Why don't we turn off the question timer? So we're going to turn this into just a standard quiz. You can have up to 100 people do this challenge. So I could set this to multiple different groups over the next week or something like that. Create that challenge and see where that takes us. We're now in a new part of Kahoot that you may have never seen before, the reports part. The reports part is where you can see the different challenges that you've set. So different homeworks that you've set. And you go into the homework, you send this link to your learners, right? So the learner receives the link, homework for this week. They open it up in their computer at home. They click the link in their email that you've sent them. They don't have to sign in. They don't have to have a username, password. They don't have to download anything. I'm a user right now. I'm not connected right now. This is an anonymous account. So it asks me to join with a nickname. And I'm alone. And now I'm just doing a Kahoot all by myself in my house. Now that obviously is not as much fun as doing it in a group, but
Les plantes, c'est très stimulant. Et quand je me balade.
Okay. Done. You've completed the challenge, and you'll see all the other people who've completed it with their nicknames, so you can kind of, you know, size yourself up to the competition. So they've done that then at home, and that's a nice homework. That's not even something you had to create. You already had it because you were using it in class, and you've just assigned it with the timer turned off for homework. And then when the teacher comes back and checks the results, the teacher sees that in video tests, somebody called Ricky has answered it. Go have a look. How much did they get correct? What was their ranking at the end? What questions did they answer, and what answers did they give, and was it correct or not, and how much time did they spend? I mean, it is incredibly detailed to be able to see who did the homework, how fast did they do it, how many questions did they get right, how many times did they attempt it perhaps, you know. So it actually, suddenly you open up for free, yeah, there's not a subscription I have, you open up this whole kind of homework management platform. So if you were making Kahoot your tool, this would be a great extension to be able to start doing stuff in class and outside of class and really making full use of all your Kahoots. But it's something that I didn't even know about until I started just exploring it one day and discovered that we can do this homework setting part. But that just sort of blew my mind. So anybody who's doing Kahoots, that's gonna, you know, give you the opportunity to double up on the amount of work that you can give and the satisfaction your learners are going to get out of those Kahoots.
It's just a question is that you can do this not only with Kahoots you've created, you can do it with pre-created Kahoots as well, sharing to other people, setting challenge.
Let's have a look. So you mean like if somebody else has created a Kahoot and I copy it, you mean something like that?
Yeah. Can you
do that? Discover. I wonder, because are you thinking of maybe like InLingua teachers sharing their Kahoots with each other?
Could be that, yes. Could be that. Or sometimes I have to say, having used it myself, some of them are already quite well done, and you know, you can amend them, of course, but
sure. Yeah, for sure. I know that you can copy. I think that you can copy Kahoots. Can I duplicate? No, maybe not. A2 special day. It's cool.
You could.
Is it a Cambridge one, by the way? It's actually by Cambridge, like Cambridge Language Assessment. We can take that. You can't edit Kahoots due to the creator settings.
Yeah, maybe because it's Cambridge. Yeah.
That's a bit of a shame. Yeah, it'd be nice if we could just copy that. Cambridge mercenaries. Okay. But yeah, actually, at least you could. I mean, you could play it. You could just go and you could star that and save it to your favorites, and then you could play it. But yeah, that means that you wouldn't be able to set it for. Could you set it for homework then? Well, you can set it for homework though. Okay. That's cool.
Okay.
So you could, but it means that you can't edit it, which is a shame. Which is your point, I think. I guess with Cambridge, you can probably.
I think Cambridge has locked it because I seem to remember some we could. So you can edit that one.
Yeah, there's one that's not Cambridge. Miss Kavanagh. Miss Kavanagh is letting us edit her Kahoots. So that's duplicated now into my Kahoots. So I can edit hers without wrecking her original one, you know? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I think the thing to do then would be probably to publish the Kahoots. Oh, crumbs, I've just closed it again. The Kahoot publicly, and then maybe go and find them. You know, give them a name that's a bit difficult to find, like InLingua or something. And then, you know, that could be, you could just create public ones that could be called InLingua something, like InLingua A2 business quiz or something. I don't know, it depends if you want them to be really public or not, but I don't know if you can, probably, I bet what you could do.
Share the links, no?
Is if you upgrade, I'm sure you could probably have some sort of school type thing, because this says something that says School of Awesome. I don't know what the hell that is, but it might be that you can actually share within a school. Shared with me. Oh no, look, no one has shared any Kahoots with you yet. Games other Kahooters share with you will show up in this list. Hold on. We're exploring. We're gonna click. Kahoots. So let's say I want to share my English time one with you guys. So I could share. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey.
Need to know who's the username. Yeah.
OMG. Look at this. Create a group. Come on. If this is free, I'm going to be very impressed. Invite members. Wow. So I can invite you by email, and then you're going to be in my group, and then I can add a Kahoot to that. and then you guys will all have that Kahoot. Wow. Okay, so there you go. I've just changed InLingua forever. You're welcome.
Calm down.
forget my InLingua, all right?
Shit, I'm glad I joined that lesson. You're doing it on purpose.
Sorry. Anyway, yeah. But that's a great way to share. That's a really nice thing, because then that means that, yeah, in theory, I mean, you could get people who are starting to build up that list for fun stuff to do in Zoom calls, and then you could send out an all access email one day and say, here's the link to the group. Anybody who wants to join, it's free, and here's the DLT video on how to use Kahoot, and so just watch that, and then you've got so there you go. Nice. That's very exciting. I'm happy to have discovered that as well, because that's going to be useful for other groups too. Awesome. Okay, any other questions, Nick?
I don't think so. No, the calendar is interesting, but I don't think it really applies too much for me at the moment. I'll get most of that sorted for me, fortunately. I just want to run with the Google tours, really get stuck into that. It looks really, I used to use Google Maps sometimes when talking about giving directions or describing places, but the Google tours looks more animated and more three-dimensional, obviously, and we can kind of like a virtual tour. So yeah, looking forward to doing that. But no other questions really.
Great. I'll just, if you don't mind, I'll quickly show you a couple of minutes, because Google is something also that I get very excited about. So the tour creator is cool because it permits you to lock down certain locations, and also they have a lot of templates that are really interesting. I would recommend, for Claire, you mentioned earlier about traveling. There's a template which is 7 Wonders of the World, which is really fascinating because they give you these beautiful views of the Colosseum. And
I've got a student that's has an idea that she wants to travel somewhere. I'm going to create one specifically for her.
Excellent.
So we can use that in the lesson, and we can use lots of.
There's a New York one, there's a London one, there's a Jaipur one, there's Petra, for example. You have templates that you can use. This is in the templates section at the top of Tour Creator. And if you're new to Tour Creator, I would recommend very strongly starting here, because it really shows quite concisely what can be done with Tour Creator, and things like Great Wall of China. It's just fascinating. And that they've already, in some cases, they've already put in audio descriptions of the different points of interest from Google. So it's some American dude reading out what about these different parts of the wall. So it means you could already have a bit of audio there to use as well. So definitely worth exploring the different templates. Honestly, you could spend weeks just using the templates until the point where you decide you want to make your own one, and then at least you would be used to the interface of it before getting that far.
Homework option as well.
Yeah. So,
I've been there to Machu Picchu. I've been talking about that.
Yeah. I have a friend who went there too. And a friend who went there, but then they said it's so sad because it's like such a fragile location, and it's just absolutely hiving with tourists.
Well, it took me 3.5 days to walk there. It was good.
Good
but I've
Lord.
got a few students who want to go there, so that's useful, because I can show it to them in the virtual experience.
Yeah, excellent. Electromagnetic spectrum, the human anatomy. Anyway, you just there's tons and tons and tons and tons and tons there. So what do I want to say? So if you don't want to stomach Tour Creator for the moment, Google Maps itself is a tool that if you just open this, if you have a lesson, sort of maybe it's spontaneous, or it's somebody who's not having a bad day and they don't want to do any business stuff or whatever, just crack this open and say, right, what's your favorite museum in the whole world? So I don't know, what, Claire, is your favorite museum in the whole world, since you like traveling?
She's gone. She went traveling, yeah.
Difficult question, yeah. What would you say, Claire?
She's gone. She's not there.
Where? What?
She's.
Oh, right. She's actually traveled. Okay. Florence, what's your favorite museum in the world?
Musée de la Piscine in Roubaix.
Musée de la Piscine.
Yeah, that's where I live.
Like
La Piscine, yeah. Swimming pool. It's an Art Deco. It's an old Art Deco swimming pool, and there's a museum. Yeah, that's the one.
This one here?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's 5 minutes from my house.
Ah, yeah, okay. Hold on, where? Oh, so I know where you live. You live in
In Roubaix.
Roubaix. Okay, all right, there we go. So we can see it like that. But this and Lille, okay, great. This is, you know, doing this and you having control, sometimes giving the learner control. It's already something that is just an exploration activity that can take a good 30 minutes of a lesson of just, you know, talking and using prepositions, using map locations, vocabulary for different shops and stuff like that. Now, where you can take it to a next level is you have two different possibilities. Either some lovely tourist will have been in this piscine museum at some point and will have used their fancy 360-degree camera that they got for Christmas and have taken a picture, or Google will have actually gone in, because it's a big museum like the British Museum or the Louvre. Google will have gone in with their own camera and will have filmed the entire way around the museum. So they have like an interior 360-degree map of the museum. So how we find out is we have to be on a computer, first of all. We take like a laptop or a desktop computer, and we're in Google Maps. Go to the bottom right where you see, you might not see because you might be blocked off with the videos, but the little bonhomme in the bottom right, click and drag him, and you will spot on the map the roads as usual. The blue roads is where you can drop him to see what there is on that road. Or there'll be a little blue circle somewhere, and a blue circle means some clever clogs has taken a 360-degree picture. If you drop the bonhomme on that blue thing, then I will see inside the Musée de la Piscine. Ta-da! It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow, nice statues.
So now this used to be a swimming pool, an Art Deco swimming pool, and it was transformed into a museum.
Is that water there? Can you actually get in?
No, it's they filled it in, so it's only a few centimeters deep. But every 15 minutes you have the sound of an actual swimming pool and children screaming and water, etc., going on in the museum.
Yeah, the acoustics must be amazing with that big round roof and everything.
They do concerts in there. Well, they used to before the lockdown.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. That's beautiful. So, you know, you could get then somebody to take you around there and to show you the different points of interest, or conceivably that could go in for them. So you go and find in the tour creator that spot, and you put that in your tour, and you make this one of the points showing where Florence lives and all of her favorite things in the town where she lives.
We can do that. We've done that for InLingua centers. We've joined with Google. Yeah, you can actually pick an InLingua center and click. Yeah.
Try and have a look at that. Yeah, and I'm not going to be able to resist that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, where it is.
So let's take
a picture there.
It is. Take our bonhomme. Oh yeah, that's awesome. I'm coming in Lingualil.
Actually, we did that last month, so yeah.
Okay.
So that's why there were photographers at
Una, InLingua Boulogne, so I can go and have a look at InLingua Boulogne.
Yeah.
Don't get excited.
So there on the right is my office.
Up there?
No, that's the fire door. Oh God.
Yeah.
That's the nice hallway.
Quite recent, yeah. Nice hallway, yeah. Okay, so on the right there is your office.
Yeah.
On this right here, this bit here with the blue door.
No.
Just no.
Hang on. Yes. No, the one after. There's
so
another
after
one
that
after.
on. Yeah. After that door on the right, so around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've just done a prepositions lesson. Did you hear it? Did you feel it?
No. On the right, on the left, further down.
Oh God, I can actually move. Oh my goodness, I can move around.
Hey, see there.
So that's your door there. I can actually move through the office. All right, I see the receptionist didn't want to be in it. Okay, fair enough. Nice reception area. Very nice. Yeah. I see. Okay, the little things on the ground there. Very nice. Teacher's room. Is there the teacher? Oh, coffee machine. What kind of coffee machine do you have?
Oh, yeah,
guys, honestly, you need to step it up a bit because
not my choice.
Yeah, because we're gonna, our office runs on the quality of its coffee. Come on, we're in France here.
See, guys, that's the head office of InLingua. You can see where that's the head office of InLingua.
We have Italian coffee in our office in Bordeaux.
Oh my Lord!
Italian something. I wouldn't call it.
I think have they not done it in Bordeaux too, Claire? I think they did to all the centres. Not in Bordeaux yet.
What?
The Google.
Yes, we've got ours. Yeah, ours is that.
InLingua Bordeaux, my competition. I'm
So-
right next door.
Oh gosh.
I'm joking.
Yes. That's really not very pretty picture. Huh?
It's not. Oh
Hey.
wow!
Whoa.
It's Max.
There we go. Let's get the bonhomme in
Wave.
there. Hello.
Oh wow!
Anybody there? It's nice. Nice.
I'm in
stage to
I'm
get
in the left. There's a room on the left by
Um,
reception, and I'm there. I'm in Wetz's. Yeah, just.
The-
The
there.
aquarium.
Say a theme.
No, just where. Yeah. Hang on. No, that's the main door. That's the toilet. Yeah, that's the reception. That's the lobby.
Can I go in here? Yeah, okay.
We want to see
Ah,
the coffee machine.
Here we go.
No,
Yeah,
that's
we need
my
to see
room
where the
there.
coffee.
Yeah, there's Karen.
Hi, Carol. Where's the coffee machine? Yeah.
Oh, you won't find it. It's hidden from students.
Oh, boo.
It's a Corona.
It's so fancy.
their
You
own
don't want them to
health.
have any. Yeah.
I want to relocate to Bordeaux.
It's a nice looking setup. I like the glass panels. They're always really, it always makes it feel very open when you have nice glass panels in an office. Very nice. Okay, I'm impressed. Oh, look at that classroom.
Yeah, we have lots of
Ooh.
light, lots
My
of
one.
greenery.
You can see that you guys have an
Wow.
IKEA,
Oh, wow.
obviously, where you live, because that's
Ah,
nice,
yeah, that's our boss. He loves IKEA.
nice IKEA furniture there. Excellent. Okay. So anyway, but we're absolutely completely lost. I'm
No,
sorry.
but
This has been 10 minutes of me, but you see how I get so excited about it. People who are watching get excited about it. Google Maps with this little bonhomme and just having a look around. If you end up going to like the British Museum or somewhere like that, then you see where it goes to kind of nutter butter sort of levels, because the British Museum is entirely mapped. So when we get our bonhomme, we go in to one of the bits of the British Museum and actually can navigate around every single piece of art and move between the different floors. So 5th floor, 3rd floor, 2nd floor. So it is absolutely entirely mapped, which you could just spend days exploring.
I'm
this
going to
with
have to
students
go,
and just
guys,
doing
because my students have just arrived.
Yeah,
I'm afraid.
me too.
Yes.
But yeah, no problem. We're pretty much done. But you see, just using these tools and playing with them, just doing these simple things, it's enough to really, you playing with them, your learners watching you play with them, it's enough to take up, an entire lesson. So I really recommend getting into that, because I do that, and it's I don't have a particular tool that I necessarily use. It's just little things like that. I would go in and someone would mention where they live, and I would just automatically say, oh, that's let's go into Google Maps and have a look. What can we find? What 360 spots are there that we can look at? And it's just if you in your teacher brain, you're just automatically thinking about how you can make that into a lesson. So when we're describing where to go, then you're going to do that, and afterwards you're going to say, right, used a lot of prepositions there, made some mistakes, let's have a look at them. Pull out a prepositions PDF that you've got on your computer somewhere, and then maybe set them a homework to record an audio description of where they live and with prepositions or something like that. So anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about Google Maps. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I think you can
We could
show
talk-
them
we
the
can-
InLingua centers if they miss it. That's
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah. Say when you come back, this is where we're going to be, and show them
Yeah.
around. Yeah.
Remember?
Absolutely.
I think they'll go on Visio for life if they go to the branch.
Yeah. Oh dear.
You can have a look afterwards.
Okay. I will. All right. So yeah, I guess I'll leave you in the very capable hands of Ian King for the next module about pedagogical stuff. And just keep playing, keep clicking, and I wish you all the best of luck with your lessons.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thanks very
Richard.
much.
You're very, very welcome. Very
Yeah.
welcome. Stay in touch, and I'll send you the recording of the video afterwards as well. Do you want to say something, Florence, before we go?
Just I've emailed you, but Umberto, I don't think received maybe the link to. He's
Okay.
joining Group 3 today.
Yeah. I get spam. My email's going to spam for some reason at the moment. I don't know why.
Okay.
So
All right. Okay.
I'll send it again to him. No problem.
Thank you. All
You're
right.
very welcome.